up for that guy.
Yeah.
Hello. I'm that guy. You might have seen me at that place. Doing that thing. It's my second time at the shitty comedy show. This one is going just as good as the last one did, so I'm really excited to have you all here. So many excited faces, just waiting for some comedy. Let's see if I can deliver. I've been in a really shitty mood lately. And my best friend has been Uber Eats. Does anybody else love Uber Eats?
Yeah.
I can only afford it sometimes, but it's food pornography, really. If you look at this app, they've got all the food. It's dressed up really nice. It's beautiful, and there's a trick to treat yourself. Get really, really high, order some food, and then 30 minutes later, you have a surprise showing up at the door. And that's a really nice way to treat yourself. I do it every day, and it's going pretty good. Yeah, it's kind of sad. But does anybody like eating naked in bed? That's something that I love to do. I do it a lot. I know you're concerned, you're like, crumbs are gonna fall in the bed, but I have some safeguards. I've got this big ass beard, I've got a really hairy chest, and if you just connect my chin to my nipples, I mean, it's kind of like the Bermuda Triangle for food bits. Things just get lost in there. So I don't worry too much about it. I know some of you have to worry about that. Do any ladies here like chest hair? I know there's always a few.
Portugal.
Yeah, you gotta be in Portugal, right? So it's nice, but I think you gotta understand that it's like some girls get nuts, right? They're on top of you, they're going nuts on you, they think they're a cowgirl, they grab on and then they rip out a handful of hair. That's not enjoyable. I look down and it looks like the deforestation in the Amazon, like just right down the middle. Looks like Moses is trying to lead the Jews out of the jungle. It's not good. I don't like that. Yeah. So I think Europeans sometimes have some old, outdated views of Americans. I'm obviously American. I can't hide it if I wanted to. And I was talking to some, I don't know, she's from one of those Eastern European countries that's not part of Russia yet. There's so many, it's hard to keep track. And she was like, you sound like a cowboy. And I was like, bitch, I'm a gangsta. Don't disrespect my culture. Nobody's babies want to grow up to be cowboys anymore. We had an epidemic in the 70s. They even wrote a song about it. Nobody knows that song.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So it exists. That's a fact. You learned today. Go Google it. Cowboy epidemic in the 70s in the USA.
Sing it.
Exactly.
Sing it.
I don't even fucking know how it goes. Don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. Some stupid shit like that. Fucking cowboy music sucked, man. Fuck that shit. I'm glad we've got Lil Wayne now. That's my shit. So I'm sure a lot of you are travelers. Probably go around. Maybe you're traveling and you need to live frugally. That's cool. I want to leave you with a little tip. Anywhere you go, get on Google. Or, well, anywhere you go, let's say you want to surprise your partner, travel partner, with some fresh flowers, right? Just get on Google, type in cemetery. They're all over the world. There should be one nearby you. And you can go there and people just leave flowers there all the time. Like, nobody's there to appreciate them. I don't understand why they do that. It's a waste of flowers. I'm trying to rescue these plants. There's really no reason to be doing that. And I always like to give them, you know, it's always nice to give somebody a gift of slowly dying plants. That's a nice thing to receive. I'm sure some of you have gotten some. It kind of feels like a slowly dying plant right now. Yeah, a lot of people had to die for that joke to exist, so show some respect, please. Come on. And I would also just be if you're going to do that, I know some of you think that's horrifying, but if you do that, make sure to take off any cards that you find on the bouquet, because I gifted one to a friend, and she was like, oh, there's a card, and I was like, what? She pulls it up, and she's like, I'll always miss you. What the fuck does that mean? And I had a quick choice of just being an asshole or a grave robber, and so I was like, surprise, we're not friends anymore. But I will always miss you. You gotta pick and choose those battles. You gotta save your face sometimes. I'm trying to figure out how to do that now. Y'all are not ready for that one. Okay. Here's a fun joke. My ex-wife, a lot of people don't know I have an ex-wife actually because it's not true. But it sets up this joke nicely. So my ex-wife, she was really unhappy. And so I figured maybe we just need to change something. So I was like, get an interior decorator and make something happen. So he convinced her to paint the inside of her vagina white. That went a lot worse than I thought it was going to. I don't think the punchline even matters anymore. So we're just gonna pretend that one didn't happen. Oh, fuck. Okay. Well, I'll worry about that one later. Okay, we'll finish on this. So I never really did a whole lot of cool drugs. I smoked a little bit of weed, and that's, it's a problem for me because I'm already kind of weird when I'm sober. But when I'm high, I'm a complete fucking space cadet, and it makes it really, really hard. Like, I'm out in space, and I can see Earth, and I know people are there, but I just don't know how to communicate with them, and it makes it really, really hard. And then a lot of weird things will start to happen. Like, I was really high the other day, and I was just kind of sitting, and I was looking at my hand, and my hand was just starting to tingle, and I was like, oh my God, is that the feeling of my fingers feeling themselves? No, this is the feeling of my fingers feeling themselves. And that is really weird to do in public, especially if you're in front of a bunch of people. But in Italy, this would be totally normal. I'm just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I'm just gonna fucking end it there. Thank you so much.
Please keep it going for that guy. Yeah, really funny, right guys? And he was texting all the time. That's amazing.